What's up, guys? Fantasy Joe back here in our fantasy football profile. Today, we are talking Robert Woods, Los Angeles Rams wide receiver, and his 2021 fantasy football outlook. If you guys are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button down below. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section down below. Let me know you're taking Robert Woods in drafts. Check out, I have a bunch of these other fantasy profiles on the channel. Running back league winners, wide receiver league winners coming tomorrow. Check all that stuff out. Let's hop into it. Okay, so Robert Woods. Woods finished as wide receiver 13 in 2020. He had 90 receptions for 936 yards, 6 receiving touchdowns. But the sneaky stat you always have to consider with Robert Woods is he had 24 carries, good for 155 rushing yards and 2 rushing touchdowns to add to that total. So over 1,000 yards from scrimmage, 8 touchdowns, 90 receptions. Like I said, finishes as a wide receiver 13, averaging 12.5 fantasy points per game and a half-point PPR. Robert Woods is a very high floor. If we look at his last 3 seasons, 86 receptions for 1,219 yards, 90 receptions for 1,134 yards, and then last year, as I said, 90 receptions, 936 yards. And if we look at the rushing yards, 19 attempts for 157 yards and touchdown, 17 attempts, 115 yards and touchdown, 24 attempts for 155 and 2. He's adding rushing. He gets attempts every year in the rushing game that are going to help, even out those receiving yards a little bit, and he could still be getting, 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 yards, adding another 150 on the ground. The reception numbers, too, give him a very high floor, 90 receptions and half-point PPR is going to give him a ton. Obviously, give him even a little bit more of a bump in full-point PPR. He's a model of consistency. I really like Robert Woods. You can get him in like the 4th, 5th round of some drafts. He's always pushed down. And if, let's say you draft Amari Cooper as your wide receiver 1, I have no problem getting Robert Woods. I love him as their wide receiver 2. Very solid. And I think Stafford brings this new level of touchdown upside where the Rams, since McVay has been there, have been top 10 in rushing attempts and rushing attempts inside the 10. I expect this year that they're going to throw the ball a little bit more in the red zone. I think that could be more touchdowns for Robert Woods, more touchdowns for Cooper Kupp, all those guys through the air. So my stat prediction for Robert Woods, I have 90-plus receptions, 1,100 yards, and 8 touchdowns. I think this is a year where, maybe he has 7 or 8 receiving touchdowns, runs 2 in, catches 10 receiving touchdowns, runs 1 in. He has touchdown upside that I don't think he's ever really had before. He's never been a big touchdown guy, but I think this is the year where, double digits is in the realm of possibility finally for him, and you're still getting him at a pretty similar draft cost. I see him going as wide receiver 20. And like I said, he hasn't finished as a wide receiver 20 in the last 3 years, so you're getting value on him either way. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, and like I said, subscribe. If you want to win that league, hit that sub button. And questions or comments, I'll respond as always. This is Fantasy Joe. Thank you for watching.